Hello everyone, I'm Andrea Lupo, the lead coordinator of the Arts and Cultural Management Conference 2021, which will be held between 28th and 30th of January with the overarching theme of revisiting borders in a fully virtual format. I am now happy to introduce you to the open call for paper presentations. The conference provides an accessible platform for disseminating research projects while fostering an open, interactive, and mindful exchange. A 3-day series of online events will engage emerging researchers, professionals, and artists in insightful conversations about the arts and culture sector. The concept of borders can visualize cultural differences while at the same time can reinforce stereotypes and advance marginalization of both individuals and groups that we, as arts and culture practitioners, must navigate. In light of the coronavirus outbreak, climate change, and anti-racist protests, a new series of challenges and opportunities have emerged, changing the dynamics of policymaking, management, and engagement, particularly surrounding how we live and create, while together and apart in evolving contexts. While this current crisis have highlighted concerns within the discipline, the complexity of borders as a concept, either digital, real, imagined, economic, political, or other, has long marked the arts and cultural fields. So, what new practices and questions are emerging as the discourse around borders that continues to change and evolve? What are the ways that arts, culture, and natural heritage sectors are working to transcend notions of boundaries, both as a matter of course and as a reaction to the coronavirus pandemic and global anti-racism process? With revisiting borders and sub-themes of resilience, reimagine, and reinterpret, we recognize that innovative thinking and challenges to the status quo are necessary for cultural institutions to not only survive, but be inclusive, anti-racist, and environmentally sustainable in their practice. So, the first theme of resilience. We are building an understanding of ongoing transformations in the arts and cultural sectors, and this will allow us better to advocate for its contributions to society and also self-reflect on how to best serve our communities while navigating uncertainty and change. So we are hoping to explore better this with the 3 themes that are related to the overarching theme of revisiting borders. So the first one is resilience. And there are a few questions that we are trying to ask within the conference format and that your papers and submissions should be related to, but not only limited to. So these are just suggestions. So, what are the current gaps of research and work prospects in the arts and cultural or natural heritage management sector? What key skills need to be developed to respond to current demands and boost employability? How can we maintain, cultivate solidarity amongst artists and cultural practitioners in a way that brings us closer together? How can we encourage active and democratic participation of non-professional creative individuals and groups? How do emerging researchers and practitioners balance collaborative practice versus individual initiative in the context of physical restrictions and isolation? How can we amplify marginalized voices within the sector? How can we celebrate and acknowledge those who have pioneered and created space for the forgotten and the ignored? So, any presentations and papers and events proposals are welcome to be submitted in response to these questions, but not only. Moving forward, the second theme is reinterpret. And we have thought of the following questions. How can digital and sustainable technologies, as well as new media, be deployed to serve various initiatives in the sector? What ethical implications need to be considered when innovating through technology or other means, or making structural changes to a system, educational, social, cultural, civic, or other? How can art and culture systems and spaces be reimagined to be more inclusive? How can research be rethought to serve not only the researcher? How can be the next voices in the, who can be the next voices of the sector? How can arts and culture be anti-racist in the practices? Finally, we have the theme of REimagine, and we've thought of the following questions. What are the implicit frames through which we analyze concepts, cultural practices, and phenomena? What is the impact of language and specific vocabularies to how we perceive and interact with the world around us? How are we recognizing the ways in which we reinterpret, share, and curate arts and culture heritage, especially in a hyper-connected and globalized world? How can we re-examine the uncomfortable histories and elements of our institutions' interpretation to include all elements, not just the powerful or of the majority? Finally, it is important to look at the submissions requirements and who would be eligible to participate and what is the overall timeframe, but also what kind of submissions are accepted or suggested. So the key dates, I will take this away. Some of the key dates are the opening, which was last Tuesday on the 18th of August, until this Sunday, 4th of October 2020, we are accepting submissions to the theme, and after that, on the Friday, the 30th of October, we are expecting to inform applicants of their outcome. What you can submit. Just some main suggestions include presentations, preferably with a small slot of Q&A at the beginning or at the end of your presentation, depending on how interactive you want it to be. Panel discussions, workshops, seminars, or other interactive events, artistic presentations or performances, virtual networking activities, and a poster showcase. I must mention that all of these different formats will be in virtual format, so they should be thought as being supported by a digital platform. Moving on, who is eligible to apply? Well, it is very important to have submissions from students in the arts and culture management disciplines, and this is open to anything that relates to the field, but also people who have graduated recently and they are starting their career in the sector, either in practical work or in research. But also artists are very much encouraged to apply. Presenters will be chosen based on the relevancy of the research to the conference themes, the originality or creativity of their proposal, and the feasibility of their suggested presentation format. Shortlisted submissions will be considered for pre-conference participation on the ACMC's blog and social media channels between the 15th of November and the 15th of January. So basically, depending on the amount and quality of submissions we receive between now and the 4th of October, we will be selecting a core program for the conference, and then some other submissions that could be promoted or gain visibility before the conference on our other channels of communications. So, some practical things about submitting to the conference. Your research abstract and summary or event proposal should be of maximum 300 words with a few key references. Please clearly indicate your presentation format and any relevant information on your plan to present and facilitate. We also need a short biography of maximum 100 words with your background and interests. And all presentation ideas can be submitted via the submission form on our website. So it will be a very clear format that you can just fill in and then click submit, and this should be easy for everyone, hopefully. But luckily, there are more ways to get involved. You'll be able to collaborate directly with the leading team of the conference by setting up and coordinating a conference hub in your local area. So because this year, or for the next year, 2021, we are planning a virtual conference, we thought of decentralizing it and creating more opportunities for students and emerging practitioners to get involved and gain more responsibilities in their own area, and practice a very safe format for the conference. So we've thought of creating this network of localized hubs, which will include one organization or university, one coordinator that we will be in touch with, and one conference session. So whoever wants to set up a hub will have to suggest at least one session to go to the agenda of the event. Each hub or place-based group of students and emerging professionals are invited to propose and run activities as part of the 3-day agenda. So the coordinator will be working directly with the ACMC planning group. Obviously, we do have a lot more details and a very full guide on how to do that on our website. So please feel free to visit www.acmcconference.com/localized hubs. You can also contact us by email or on the conference website or on our social media channels. And these are the handles that you can find us to. And please feel free to tag us or use the hashtags ACMC 2021, ACMC Network, or Revisiting Borders. Thank you for listening, and I wish you all the best luck with your applications.